dog sight. Tell me been in that living room all white. I'm up all night, season ends while niggas sleeping. Lost so many guys, guess why I'm breathing. We keep it strong as the name live on, like if they was never gone. Mind blown, and even my head is sin. And Stephen A. Smith has stuck his foot in his mouth once again. Said something just extremely crazy. You already had him about a week ago when he was on the show and talking about how the first thing he thinks of when he wakes up every morning is how he can make his boss some money and how he can get some of it. And which I understand what he was trying to say, but still, it's a poor way to say it. You know, if anything, you know, you should be worried about putting yourself in the best position possible. And I understand you want to make yourself valuable, but after being in the game for, 20 plus years, at what point do you decide that it's time to, carve out a lane for yourself? Or is that opportunity even there? But, at what point do you get to the point where you can get in a position to where you can control your own platform? Do you think about that at all, or do you just rule that completely out? And so, especially for one that, speaks about, all the time about black people being in prominent positions and higher positions, so. But this one was crazy, and I had to look and see what was the context of what he was saying, and this caused a lot of outrage. Stephen A. Smith's comments about the LA Angels Shohei Otani, who's the pitcher. He's pitching for the Angels, man. He's a good pitcher, but also leading the MLB in home runs, so which is amazing. I don't have the stats give right now, so I'm not sure if that's I'm not sure if that's ever happened. I could be, like I said, I could be wrong. Let me know. But being able to pitch at the level he does and leading the MLB in home runs, that's something amazing. Something that I haven't seen. I've seen pitchers that could hit, but like I said, doing it like that, yeah, that's unheard of for me. I don't watch MLB as much as I used to back in the day. I just don't have enough time, and then a lot of times the game just moves so slow and just gets tedious to watch at times. But yeah, the question was, is it good for MLB that Otani is the number one attraction? Him being the best player in the league. And Stephen A. Smith's take was no, because he doesn't speak English. And, before you can say, well, the MLB is full of guys that are from other countries and, stuff like that and don't speak English. A lot of the top players who have been there, while they spoke other languages as their primary language, they can speak a level of English to at least communicate with the reporters and, different things like that. So, but I don't believe Otani speaks any English at all. So, as I was listening, I'm thinking, the whole point of Stephen A. Smith saying this is because, as far as fan engagement and media engagement, them, at least even being able to speak to, like a show like First Take or something. But then the more he talks, I hear the direction he's saying is, no, people just don't want to watch the game in general because he speaks English. That is an incredibly stupid thing to say. Now, it's a trash take, and I hear all type of trash takes on there on First Take all the time. Just, terrible. I think Kendrick Perkins said some dumb crap, a couple weeks ago, dealing with LeBron James, and I remember him saying something about Oh yeah, this was what he said. It was either Kendrick Perkins or Scottie Pippen talking about LeBron James has never had help. Also, he said that it's harder to win in the NBA Finals than it is in the NFL. But in the NFL, guys only have one game. Especially in the playoffs, you got one game. You screw up one game and you're out of here. That's why some of the best players never won a championship, like the Barry Sanders, who really didn't have much around him to begin with, but Barry Sanders, the Dan Marinos, they didn't have they got to the playoffs all the time, but they had those bad games, or just it just didn't sway their way. So it's tougher. It's tougher in the NFL. Whereas in the NBA, it's usually the best team wins every year. Usually the best team wins, barring any injury or nothing, because it's 7-game series. But back to the topic. This was just a bad take. All the outrage about Stephen A. Smith being canceled and everything, I don't agree with that. Like, get the fuck out of here with the whole cancel culture. I'm sick of the whole cancel culture shit. Shut up about that. But like I said, a lot of times, especially, black folks in the media, we set that bar already. So it comes, Stephen A. Smith has been a part of that. And, jumping on, a guy may say something and, a lot of times people do say ignorant stuff, but sometimes, you may have some white guy who he didn't mean it in that way. And you have guys, like Stephen A. I don't think Stephen A.'s called for somebody's job, but, he'll jump on their case and, make a big deal about it. Well, we set that bar. A lot of times we set that bar, and for a lot of people who do call for that cancel culture, always remember it could come back on you. So I'm not gonna advocate for anything like that, but it's just it's a bad take, because what does his communication and his language have to do with his play out on the field? It doesn't matter at all. I can understand if you're talking about, like I said, communicating with media and different things like that, but just watching him, hit the ball, just watching him perform, that has no bearing. If it was up to that, then yeah, he would contribute to the league. If that's the route that you're going. Now, I understand what you're trying to say. You're talking about, from the appeal to the fans and different things like that. But then, no, matter of fact, fuck that, because I thought that's where you were trying to go, but then you made it personal about yourself at the end. You even asked Molly, is she even watching it? Like, nobody's watching it because guys like Bryce Harper or somebody aren't at the forefront. And if it was somebody else, we'd probably be talking about this five times, talking about the topic 5 times a week, every show, versus, the limited amount of times that they talk about it now. And I mean, is that an indictment on your employer? Are you saying the employer gives you the topics, or you're saying it's just not interesting to you? Because what you made it sound like is it's not interesting to you because he does not speak English, which is incredibly stupid reason, especially as a black man. It's dumb. It's dumb. Why I say it's dumb to say as a black man? Because imagine somebody sitting up there saying they don't want to watch it because of your skin color. Because their skin, I mean, you can equate that. Because of your skin color, they don't want to watch you play. Because of the way because he can't speak English, you don't want to watch him play. What does skin color or English, his language, have anything to do with his performance on field? And you made that clear at the end of your little rant. So it's just incredibly stupid. But when you have guys and that's their job, that to go up there and especially when they're in the business of especially when they're in the corporate business and they go up there and their job is to just talk. Of course, guys are going to say stupid stuff every now and then, and it's hard to censor yourself. It's hard to censor yourself. You're gonna say something that's gonna get people outraged. It's just the nature of the business. Stephen A. Smith says a lot of crazy stuff. I don't think he's a dumb guy. I think he's a very intelligent man. But he spouts off, gets in all energetic in the mornings, and he's up there to entertain. I tell you what, guys talking about they're not going to get rid of Stephen A. Smith because he's one of the he's one of the few guys, if not the only one, that's keeping viewers and keeping the ratings going there at ESPN. Because I mean, if he goes, who's going to watch ESPN at all? I mean, keep it real. We love the entertaining guys. We started watching, ESPN First Take and all of that stuff because of the dynamic between Skip and Stephen A. and all of that, and because of how animated they are. So nobody wants to see that go, and ESPN definitely doesn't want to see that go, especially when you're competing. Now Skip's jumped over to Fox and doing Undisputed, and you see what that is. That gets the ratings it gets about because it's above everything else. It is an entertaining show to have. It's entertaining to watch, and you want to see an entertaining debate. A lot of the debates that they have on these shows, they really don't feel that way, but they have to, you have to have one guy taking one side and another guy taking the opposite position, so it can keep it entertaining. You can't have a show. There's a lot of things that they probably agree on, but that's not going to be entertaining. So they have to keep the viewer engaged. And so, Stephen A. is one of the few that can do that. And, contrary to what people may say, it's just the truth. They take him off, watching ESPN's ratings go way down. And, I understand he's pissed a lot of people off. Stephen A. pisses white people off because of, his talks about race all the time and stuff like that. And then he's pissed black people off because, black people feel like he attacks, black athletes and different stuff like that. So, he's just, it comes with the game. And a lot of the times he does deserve criticism. And this is one of them. This is another one of those times I believe he deserves the criticism because it's just a dumb thing to say. So, Otani's man, he's doing big things, man, and shit he's doing it on the field, man. It ain't doing nothing but helping the league. And when you come from that standpoint, now, like I said, if you're talking about trying to endear yourself and be able to be out on the forefront to where he can create a brand and an image here in America, okay, that's one thing. That may be the problem. But, yeah, a lot of it is just the way that the MLB markets itself anyway. Now, man, I've said for the longest, man, they need to bring back I don't encourage drug use, but, man, shit, motherfucker want to use steroids, man, so they can knock the ball, 600 feet out the park, man, and hitting 70, 80 home runs a year, man. Man, I'm with it, man. Because, those times with, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and that whole home run race, and when Barry Bonds was hitting 73 home runs, that was entertaining. I loved that. I loved it then. But there's no promotion of drug use, though. No, leave drugs alone. Drugs are bad, children. So, other than that, man, let me know what you think in the comment section. Is Stephen A. out of line? Is he, do you think he was on point with what he said? Or do you think he should be fired? Do you think or you think the cancel culture crap should end? Which I personally think motherfuckers should cut that shit out. Let me know in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, and I will holler at y'all later. Peace.